I was in forest school the other day with my children. I was watching them play with other kids. We homeschool. So we go to forest school in the summer, which is a place to go and meet kids and play around for a bit, do some activities in the forest, in nature. And it reminded me of my childhood, and it just got me thinking, some spiritual thoughts, really. What is it? What is a friendship? What is a relationship? Well, what was my children doing? They were finding other kids, and they were trying to do things together that everybody enjoyed. So they could have a good time, have a friendship, have a relationship and an experience together, make a memory, and become close through this shared activity that everybody enjoys, everybody values. And this, of course, carries on into our adulthood. It gets more serious when we make adult friendships, when we make romantic and intimate relationships. A relationship involves a large amount of finding what's important in life that everybody agrees on is an important value and making memories through that together, making a life. This is the essence of a pleasurable, intimate relationship, really. Finding shared interests, shared values. Now, another thought, my children were making up stories, they're making up games. That was how they came up with things to do together. And the point was to make up a game and a story that involved scenes and activities and whatever in it that everybody liked, everybody found fun, everybody found delightful. And it was quite interesting to think about how, children can do that. They can forget about reality for a while and really immerse themselves in the game and think that they're really part of it. And as we get older, we lose that ability. We gradually lose that ability. We soon get to the point where we can't pretend anymore. If we try to pretend, we know it's pretend, so we don't really get so immersed. We don't really get as into our games. And eventually, a lot of people end up giving up playing games. They become adults. They're too old for it. Some people carry on and they try to still find a bit of value in games. Like I play a few games occasionally. They help me relax. They help me spend time with friends. There's just a little mild level of pleasure left in games. But the point is that we don't have the ability to truly immerse ourselves into a fake reality. We can't. We can never forget that we are a serious adult living in a serious life, and this is all pretend. So it gets a bit corny, it gets a bit cheesy, really, as you get adults, like role-playing adults. Like adults truly taking serious time to role-play are often looked down upon. A lot of rabbis would look down upon that. I'm a bit less judgmental, let's say. But the point I want to make is this. We're in a relationship with Hashem as well. And we're told by the Chassidut and the Kabbalah and Chazal that the Mitzvot are his values, what he considers important, precious, interesting, exciting. In fact, the deeper you go, the more you realize how essential they are to his very essence, meaning they are expressions of who he is. They're important to him. But they're all physical details, like putting on tefillin with straps, not mixing, like how we prepare food, not mixing meat and milk, things like that. And a lot of people find that very hard to comprehend. They think Hashem doesn't really care about all this stuff. How could he? This is firstly just a creation for him. It's almost like a game for him. He's having to pretend, in a sense, right? It's the same problem. When a father goes down into the world of a child to try to connect to the child, he has to pretend to enjoy these silly things the child is doing, which he happily does for the sake of connecting to the child. And people say that must be what Hashem is doing. But it's not true. Hashem's thoughts are not our thoughts, and that's the key. Hashem's thoughts are creative. Mine are not. If I want something, it doesn't materialize, it doesn't become real. And for that's the reason why I can't pretend to be in another reality. Hashem does not have that problem. He is completely limitless and he can do whatever he wants. His very will creates, and therefore the creation for him is very, very different to our creativity. It's real. And therefore, when he created this world, and he created this world with 613 mitzvot in mind, those 613 mitzvot are not contrived. This situation we're in with him, to do these mitzvot and connect to him and have this adventure, this relationship, this home, this life together, with these activities called mitzvot, and with this relationship of studying Torah and getting to know each other, is real. It's absolutely real. It is not pretend, it's not contrived, and the analogy of a father coming down to a child's level is incorrect. Absolutely incorrect. And if you want to see the source for this, I can give you many. Derech Mitzvotecha Ha'amanat Elokut, chapter 8, for example. Another good source is the Rebbe Rashab's Simchat Torah Sicha, Kol Mitzvot Mitziachsim, that one, where he says that all of the mitzvot, where do they come from? What are they relevant to? They are relevant to Hashem on the very highest level. He quotes his idea from Yom Tov Shel Rosh Hashanah in Samech Vav, where he explains that the word Ein Sof, which is how we describe Hashem, which means without end, limitless, infinite, is a misnomer. It doesn't mean that Hashem is infinite. It's the only phrase we have to describe Hashem in his essence and being, because we don't really have a phrase for that. So this is the best phrase we can come up with. It means without limit, meaning beyond limit. So beyond infinite, beyond finite, beyond anything, beyond all categories, all dichotomies, all paradoxes, everything. He's got no limitation on his omnipotence. He includes every perfection, and he's beyond every perfection. Hashem is beyond love. He's infinitely loving. Love is contained within him because there is no limit to him. He can love. He can know. Of course he can. But he doesn't have to. That's the point. We can't really understand it. But you can't say that he can't love. You can't say that he can't care about 613 finite physical mitzvot, about straps, about meat and milk, all those things, physical things that you'd imagine, like I said, he doesn't care about. He does. He cares about it just as much as you can imagine, just as much as is possible for him, which is beyond infinite. And it has to be, right? He's saying, have a relationship with me, become important to me, and I'll show you that you're important to me by giving you the mitzvot. My mitzvot, he says. Take my mitzvot, keep my Shabbat, keep my Shabbats. If they weren't important to him, then what are you doing giving them to me? What does it say? If anything, they should be more important than me. And by giving them to me, he's showing me that now I'm more important to him than even what is the most important thing in the world to him, which is his mitzvah. I'll finish with a mashal. Rabbi Manis Friedman gives an idea about a son who brings his mother coffee every day. 50 years he does it. One day he finds out his mother hates coffee. As soon as he's out the room, he chucks it out. So he says, "No, what's going on? What is that all about?" And she says, "I don't like coffee. What do you think? I like coffee. It's not about the coffee. It's about our relationship. I wanted you to do something for me so you could feel connected to me." But he's not connected to his mother. What do you do when you want to get rid of someone? You give them a job that you don't care. Like, just go around the corner and tell me if it's raining or whatever it is, Imagine the son finds out that actually she loves tea and she was giving his brother the job of bringing her tea. Does that highlight it a bit better? The mitzvot are important to Hashem. It's not contrived. Hashem does not have the problem of pretending or anything like that we have. We shouldn't give mashalim to Hashem. We cannot comprehend him. His thoughts are not our thoughts. We shouldn't try to belittle how close he is to us and how important this all is to him and how important we are to him and the mitzvot are to him. And we should realize that we are really in a relationship with him, just like all the other relationships I started off with, including the fun, delightful relationship that my children are having in the forest school.